Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy, from across the shuck. And I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for a video because we just got back from Sharpshow on Saturday night past there. We were up at about 4:30 in the morning, me and wee Judd, and we went over and we met Mikey and Slippy over in England, had breakfast with them, and it was as if we had never left each other's company. It was so familiar and friendly and just a joy to have breakfast with them two boys. Just great. Then we went to the show, and for therein afterwards, every single plan that myself, Justin and Mikey had for things that we wanted to do and video and take pictures of at the show went to completely pot. And I would love to really say that I'm so sorry, but I'm not. We had a ball. And the first thing I want to do is shout out my subscribers or people who have just watched the channel once or twice or whatever. But the amount of people came up to me and we had a nice shake of hands. We enjoyed a bit of talk about the knives or things that I'd encouraged them to buy or whatever. I was inundated the whole day, and I am so appreciative of it and humbled that many people would want to come up and have a wee chat, in real life. It blew me away. Some people brought their collections with them. Some people had 2 or 3 knives that had and they want to show them. And I stopped and I enjoyed it with every single one of them. There was about 60 tables at the show. It was a good turnout and a mixture, which was good. So there was something everybody could get from the show if they wanted to, even if it was just something to say they'd been there. Out of that 60 tables, I maybe glanced at 30. And that's the genuine truth. And I maybe investigated, more thoroughly, maybe half a dozen. Because that's all I could get to. There were tables were bunged, and to be quite honest, before I'd got to the table, somebody had met me and would say hello or whatever. And when I was there, as soon as I spoke, "Oh, you Paddy," and that was it. It was just completely humbling, but really, really good. And I don't regret it for a minute. I lost track of the other two boys, and I met a whole crowd from the sanitarium there, all fantastic blokes to meet in person. So please get over to that sanitarium and like them. And Slippy, get over to his channel. What a gentleman he is. Really is just a nice fella. The best dry humour I've heard in years. I really enjoyed his company. So it was one of those days where all plans went to hell. Me, Justin and Mikey lost each other in the throng of people, and they were getting approached by people as well to talk. It went to pot. But it went to pot in a beautiful way because we chatted and talked to so many people I really wanted to see in person, like Levu, who sends me those really lovely, expensive Japanese knives, Chinese knives, well, Japanese mostly, but he sends them to the channel so that you can have a look at £2,000 knives, something you're not going to see from me. And it's lovely to get that every now and then, a couple of knives just to review in depth. What did I buy? I bought a couple of knives. Well, I bought 3 knives. 2 what I would call medium price knives, i.e. between 100 and 200. And I bought a little £20 knife to go with my little small older pocket knives, which I think you will absolutely love. Can't wait for it. I haven't got any to show you today, because we obviously have to fly our knives up because we're not taking baggage. We're just in hand luggage. So we posted our knives over last week to Mikey. He brought them to us so that we could carry them and have some to show at the table. And we done that and thoroughly enjoyed it. They should be back again tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have them tomorrow and ready for the show on Thursday night, which I really encourage you. For those that don't know, we have a podcast every Thursday night at 07:30 p.m. and it'll go on for anywhere from an hour. I could see this one going on to maybe an hour and a half because the 3 of us just so enjoyed it so much. And we bought nice knives for us. We like them, all different kinds, which is great for you. But just to talk about what it was like there and why I encourage anybody in the UK to fly it. If you have to fly there like we done, I mean, we booked about 3 months in advance and we got a return ticket for £100. And to me, that's not bad value. We went in the morning, came back. We left it. I got up at 4:30, picked Justin up, and we got back. I got back into my house about 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and I was like a busted sofa for the next 2 days. I could barely walk, stand up straight, my back, my knees. But oh my goodness, would I do it at a heartbeat? It was just fantastic. But I've been sitting here for 2 days, 3 days now, wondering what video will I do next, because I was so overwhelmed by everything that was going on there. Even the knives I seen, glanced at briefly. There was so many different sellers with so many different knives. And yeah, it was just fantastic. And we'll talk a bit more about the dealers that we got to see and talked with. The other two boys probably more than I did. But just a great showing. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about maybe for more of the new people to my channel, but also my subscribers. And before I do that, it's so important to my channel, not only my channel, but to every other YouTuber. Please like the videos if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you want to see some more, because that's free, and all it does is sets it up on your phone. So when we download a video, you see when it's downloaded, and you go and watch it if you want to. There's no cost, nothing. But it really helps our channel with the YouTube algorithm. And if you leave a wee comment, even more special. Even if it's just, cheers pal, that'll do lovely. It's interaction between me and you. Maybe it's just small thank you, whatever. But if you've got something to say, please say it. Whether you agree, disagree, absolutely put down if you disagree. Just don't put it rudely, because I'll be rude back. So there you go. That's me. So yes, please do that, because it really, really helps mine and other channels. Please like and subscribe, especially to mine and other channels. But commenting gives us that little bit of personal touch. So thank you for that. What I'm going to talk about is my knife channel is going to change a little bit. I had got to, sometimes after you've been doing it, I've been doing it a few years now, and you can become stale, you can become a bit down. I try not to let that happen. I try to do something that keeps me engaged, because I love knives. I love talking to knife people. I love showing my knives off. The YouTube side of it and making the videos is my hobby. I'm not in it for money. I'm not in it for fame or anything. I just enjoy the hobby, and my hobby is making a video and talking to this phone. I talk to this phone more than my wife. That's how much it's got me. But besides that, I'm going to have to take a drink. I've talked too much already. So what are you going to see this coming year? We're not even at the end of the year, but I'm talking, and I'm going to be starting some of these things quite soon. One thing I've changed my personal carry, my EDC, and I'm going to change it up again. I have this lovely little pouch that Justin put me onto. It's a little Viper pouch. I carry this everywhere. Ever since I got it, it's been the only thing in my pocket. I usually have my tactile turn bear in here, but I sent it over for the show, and so that's just a replacement for the minute. That'll be back tomorrow, and in its pride of place. But I've decided I'm going to give Victorinox a chance. Now, this is a custom one that my friend Justin made for me a few years ago when we first met, and it's got the things in it that I really like and need in a Victorinox. So I've got a little magnifying glass, I've got an inline Phillips screwdriver, and I've a main and a pen blade. That's all I've got in it. And I'm going to carry this every day in my left hand pocket, where I'm going to put this. And that's going to be hung on the side of my pocket, so it leaves plenty of room for that. There's not a problem. And then in my right hand pocket, I'll continue to carry what I call a good knife. But all it is just some of my other knives. This just happens to be a GEC, which is a stunning little spear point. Love it. Absolutely love this knife. It's a beautiful knife. And this is pattern number 56. So that's what I'll carry in my right hand pocket. And I'm going to try doing that now for a while to see if carrying this extra bit annoys me. but I don't think it will, because I was carrying about three knives in my pocket, plus this pouch, all the way through Sharp Show, and it didn't bother me in the slightest. So I'm going to change that up, and I'll let you know how that goes. In the house, I'm going to carry this more. This is a Medford take on a multi-tool. It's a small multi-tool. It's got a blade with S45VN on it, which I really like. Lovely spear. Look at that. It really is a beautiful spear. Hollow ground. And then it has one of the most useful tools, because I found when I had it, it's a little scraper, but it's really a cutting edge on it. You can open parcels, whatever you want. It's got little small pry thing for bolts. It's a little pry bar if you want to use it. All the tools are made of S45VN, so they're great quality. And then on the other side, it has a little flathead screwdriver and a bottle opener. So I'm going to carry this in the house more, because that's where I'm going to use it the most. But it's nice to have something that's got a couple of extra things in the house. So I'm going to use this because they're about £220 these. So they're too expensive a knife to lie sitting in the corner, or as I do, keep it up front here. So I'm going to try that for a while. And again, I'll let you know how that goes. The rest of it, I'm going to be doing a little bit more on the bushcraft side, the camping side. And here's the odd thing. I'm going to do a little bit more on prepping, because I've decided to get back into it a little bit. Much more on that to come. But mine's not prepping for an all-out war or things like that. Mine's just prepping for somebody, whether you're young or old, but especially hitting sort of the older market, things that are just blooming handy to have, and products. So I'm going to be asking companies if they've got any products. That's a thing that's in the future. And we'll talk about that at a later date. I've ordered something, and when it comes, I'll give a talk about that. The bushcraft side, I'm going to do more and more outside podcasts. That's for definite. I've been trying to get into it, and I've sort of put it off, but I can't anymore. I have a lovely little hatchet to try. I have a beautiful blade to try, and I have other tools that I want to talk about, and firelighting and whittling and things like that. I'm going to do more and more of that on the channel. I'm going camping with Justin and Mikey 2 times at least. Once over in England with all the boys from the sanitarium, and then Mikey's coming across to Northern Ireland, and him and Justin are going to do a bit of filming at a custom knife maker that a lot of you mightn't have heard of, a lot of you will, but he's from over here in the Northern Ireland, and he's invited the 3 of us down, and we're going to do a bit of filming in his workshop, which is very small, but the knives he brings out of that workshop are amazing. I know that was part of the show. We'll talk about that tonight more and more. But what am I going to do as far as collecting goes? I'm going to be right up front and honest with you. I've never had a sponsored channel by my subscribers. They have helped me out many a times when I've needed a bit of cash to get certain things. This January I become a pensioner officially at 66 instead of 65. I have to wait the extra year. So my budget's maybe not going to be as big as what I've had up until now. And rather, I don't do Patreon. I never want to do that. This is a hobby. I don't want to get the income. I don't get any money from YouTube. Haven't done now for about 2 years. Because I don't want to get involved in that. The adverts do my head in, and I want to take as many as I can off of you when you're watching them, because it annoys the life out of me. So that's still not going to change. But what I am going to do is, I always find this awkward. I'm not going to have that little bit of extra money I have to buy knives that, like this cubby, which I got back again from one of my subs that actually gave it to, and I traded him another one for it again. To buy these mid-range knives, these knives that are around 75, 80 to £100, I'm not going to have the money to buy them as often. So I've seen other people do it, and I'm going to try it this way myself, because I think it's the nicest way to do it. I'm going to say, get me a cup of tea. That's what it's going to be called. Get me a cup of tea. And if you can help, please do. If you don't, please don't worry about it. I think nothing less of you. whatsoever. But if you can help every now and then, I don't want any monthly direct debits to my PayPal. I just want, if you've got a couple of quid, I'll announce it probably often, which is going to annoy a lot of people. I'm sorry, but I want to keep this going, and I hope you would like to maybe help in it in a very small way. The price of a cup of tea. That's all I'm asking. If you can do, it's in the PayPal, put it in there. And I'll give you a shout out as well. I'll shout your name out if that's what you want. If you don't, just say no shout out. I understand that. There's no problem. And I really would appreciate if those of you are there, especially in the UK, it would be nice to get a wee bit of help here, because I will be doing a lot of UK knives, as well as everything else. I do Chinese, I do Japanese, I do European, all the countries in Europe, UK. So if you're about and you're watching, a little cup, the price of a cup of tea will really, really help me, because I'm now an official pensioner. So there you go. And this is not a cry. This will never stop. If I don't get 1 penny, this will never stop, because I love just picking a knife up, bringing it on and talking about it. So don't worry if you can't whatsoever. But it really, really would mean a lot to me if I could get a wee bit of help that way. So it's Buy Me a Cup of Tea. It'll be down below in the description. Just drop the wee arrow where it says more, and I'll have it's my email anyway as my PayPal. So I'll put my email down there and PayPal. Get us a cup of tea, please. It's there if you can help. I really would appreciate it. Right, that's over. What are we going to go? Some more knives going to go. I'm going to stick with finding older knives. This is a beautiful knife, and this was a gift. And I was doing a bit of research there this afternoon, because it's one of my favourite knives, my little slim pocket knives that I carry a lot. And it literally is a blade from either end, lovely pen blades, 2 little pen blades, one large, one small, but large is it not? It's about just over 2 inches cutting edge. But listen to that. I didn't think it was as old as it was, because it looks brand new. Looks absolutely brand new. Beautiful dyed bone, and jigged it's just gorgeous. Everything I like in an old knife. And this is a T. Ellen, and I thought it was telling, because on the timestamp I had missed the dot. It's T.ELLIN, and this company started about 1784, and it finished the name finished in 1970. So it had a huge long run. But this little knife is it's titled the Vulcan, and it was only produced. The Vulcan was used as the name from 1886 till 1944. So this is right up to the second, or the ending of the Second World War. But it's got brass liners, so I'm going to put it somewhere pre the World War, because they didn't use brass linings in the World War. And so I would say it's pre that. But it's in amazing condition. And it's actually just, this is what this does. You can get a knife and you really like it. And I didn't think, it was an old knife as that. But it's going to be probably somewhere near 100 years old, if not a bit more. So I am over the moon, really, really. And it just makes this knife even more special that somebody gifted it to me. So there you go. I'm going to do lots on that. I'm going to do a wide range, especially sit-downs. Yes, here I got a Buck Saunter, amazing knife. I'm always going to be doing these Rosecraft knives. I get them sent to be free. I'm going to be doing Arthur Wright, my favourite handmade knives in the world. And I'm also going to things like this here, this Canadian friction folder. They're coming back in shortly at Frank's at Framear Knives, so please check him out. I'll give you the details as soon as they arrive. Slip joints, absolutely modern as well as old traditional, or not old tradition, but modern traditional. These are just some of my favourite knives, but especially the older type ones, the older looking type ones. And there you are. I've got plenty to keep me going. A few new things which will kick it up for me. Make me do a wee bit of work to earn your your patronage. And look, I respect everyone. From the day an hour started, from that first person that came along, I really appreciate you giving your time up to watch my videos. And I'm not the most up to date, and I'm not great in specifics. Them things you can find out yourselves. You know what I mean? That's the way I think of it, because we're nice people. We're always looking up something. If I recommend something, always check other people out to see if I'm not way off. And sometimes I've been right. Sometimes I've been right. And but your input when I'm wrong means everything. So keep doing it. Just throw in a couple of lines. I'm not the best talker on the old telephony thing. I'm not a great typist, but I'll certainly thank you for making a comment. So I'm going to go now, have a cup of tea. I've waffled on again for an inordinate amount of times, but I'm really looking forward to the challenge of lifting this up a wee bit, doing a little bit different. And I usually only maybe get one or two of these things that I want to change, but that's me. I'll just try my best to do the whole thing, implement the whole lot. But I really do. I would love your help. If you'd like to buy a wee cup of tea for the channel, I'll do the announcements every now and then. I would really appreciate it. It's down in the description. Buy us a wee cup of tea. Or can I have a wee cup of tea, please? That sounds better. Can I have a cup of tea, please? All right, folks, I'm away. Take care. Thank you very much as usual. And for all those who came up to me at Sharp Show, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made an old fella very happy. Take care now. Bye-bye.